The one thing that everyone loves about shonen manga is the fights. And Chainsaw Man has some pretty epic fights. Denji, the Chainsaw Man, puts 110% into every single fight. Whether it's fighting the zombie devil or the tomato devil, he puts all his effort into every fight, and that's why I love Chainsaw Man. This is part 2 to my 4-part series about why I like Chainsaw Man and just things that I need to talk about Chainsaw Man before the 1-year anniversary since the ending of part 1 back in October of 2020. In a quick recap, the first video I talk about more or less the characters and why the story of Chainsaw Man is why I fell in love with it. And this video, we're going to be talking about the fights, which I'm sure is basically everyone else's reason in loving Chainsaw Man. But before we jump into the video, make sure to go down below because this isn't just a 4-part series, this is a giveaway series. Running right now, alongside these 4 videos, there's a giveaway. Down below you'll find a link to gleam.io, that's Gleam, however you fucking spell it, .io down below. And when you click on that, you can enter in to win 2 volumes of Chainsaw Man, Volume 7 and Volume 8. And then you can also get a Pt.2 plushie, as orange as this short, I swear on God. It was just Thanksgiving last week and Christmas is coming right up, so I thought I'd give back to not only my fans, but the Chainsaw Man community in general. So go down below, click on the link, and enter in to win. It's really easy. On top of that, while you're down there, leave a like on the video and don't forget to subscribe. To make this video just like a spoiler, break the fourth wall, I had to take notes. I reread the entire 92, 97 chapter manga and took notes on every single fight scene. It's filled up 4 pages and I hate taking notes, so this hopefully this is a good video. Fucking like it. Now, unlike my first video, this video is going to contain a lot of spoilers. So if you aren't caught up with the manga or you're just waiting for the anime, skip this video. Skip all the rest of the video because every other video in the series is going to have major Chainsaw Man spoilers. You have been warned. I guess this is kind of going to be a ranking video as well, on top of just talking about why the Chainsaw Man fights are so amazing. So we're going to start off with probably the worst fight in the entire series. And that this is all my opinion. And that's going to be Chainsaw Man versus the Bat Devil. Now this battle, I rated a 6 out of 10. See, not terrible ratings, but altogether it's not anything to write home about either. This battle begins with Power tricking Denji into trying to save her cat, and Denji just gets captured by the Bat Devil and used to heal him. So this was back at the beginning of the manga. The story wasn't very fleshed out. We didn't know what Denji was capable of. We didn't know what any devils were capable of either. But in this fight, we got a pretty good sense of it. When Denji and the Bat Devil fight against each other, they are throwing each other into buildings, clashing in a sense that it gives you a good scale of how strong devils are. Denji, at one point, gets a car thrown at him. Denji catches it and then throws it fucking back at the devil. All in all, it's a pretty cool fight. This fight shows us how a devil in its real true form trying to kill you is something to be afraid of, and it explains to us why devil hunters are such a big thing, that they are actually a government sanctioned organization. I'll throw in the fight with the Leech Devil. I believe it was a Leech Devil, the Bat Devil's girlfriend as well, because it was literally a chapter apart from each other, and it didn't add too much more besides that to show us that Denji had an insane resolve. That's why I rated it so high, because it showed us that no matter what, Denji was going to fight till the bitter end, even if he didn't have his Chainsaw Man form anymore, because he didn't truly know how to gain it back by drinking blood. He still fought to protect Power and her cat, which is pretty damn dope. So the Bat Devil arc and the Bat Devil itself gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Moving on, because this video is gonna be fucking long as hell if I stay on one story too long. We have the zombie. We have We have Denji versus the Zombie Devil and Denji versus the Eternity Devil. Both of these I gave like a 7.5 out of 10. Stepping up the game. Zombie Devil arc is the Zombie Devil battle is the first battle we see Denji take part in as Chainsaw Man, as a half human, half devil hybrid. Especially watching it back, Fujimoto's art style is actually amazing. I remember reading Fire Punch and thinking, this is kind of ugly, but the story is so fucking weird, I loved it. And this, compared to like your more modern My Hero and even later half of Naruto, or against beautiful anime like Act Age, I said anime, manga. Fujimoto's art style is kind of rough. It's kind of gritty and ugly, but when he draws his fight scenes, the gore of the zombies, the brutality of Denji cutting through his enemies, you just look at it and say, damn, that's beautiful, because someone had to draw all of that shit, and it couldn't be me. So I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Drawn amazing, fight amazing, and on top of that, we see just how fucking insane Denji can be. He just gets killed by people who were basically his bosses for like a long period of time. They not only kill him, but they kill his best friend. And what does he do? He gets up and just decimates them all. I loved it. That's really, when I read that part, I was like, okay, I'm hooked. And I've been reading Chainsaw Man ever since. For the Eternity Devil, Denji shows us how heartless he can be, how he understands that to fight a devil, he has to become a devil. Just from the fact that his initial thought in fighting the Eternity Devil was to just completely rip it apart continuously until it died, just shows you that he was ready to risk it all, which scared everyone else, all his other companions, all his other coworkers. But in all honesty, this isn't because it's a story arc in the manga. You may have noticed that Denji thought he was heartless because he thought that since he died and Pt.2 became his heart, he didn't have a human heart anymore. But that's not the case. Denji has never been a person to care so much about an enemy. He has been raised to be a devil hunter. He has been hunting these things and killing things since he was a little kid. He was brought up very differently from anyone else, and that shows in this arc. This is also one of the first stories or fights rather where I really looked at it and said, damn, this has potential to build up to something amazing. And I was right. A lot of people like Chainsaw Man. You like Chainsaw Man because you're liking this video, which, by the way, if you are liking this video, leave a like down below. This story grabbed a lot of people in Japan and the United States, down in Mexico and Rio, Spain, everywhere. It grabbed a lot of people everywhere because it's a good story, and that was starting to be introduced in this arc and in this battle. Because if there's a Eternity Devil, there's a wide array of devils that could be in the story, which we find out a little bit later. The next fight that we really get into is Squad 4 versus the Katana Devil. Now this is a whole arc, and now when I was trying to decide what volumes to give away for the giveaway I'm doing, I was really hesitant on what volumes to give away, whether it's going to be, I think it's 3 and 4 for the Katana Man arc, or 7 and 8 for the Assassination arc. I chose the Assassination arc because, well, we'll get into it later, but it just, so many chapters in those volumes just grab your attention continuously, while in this story arc, it not so much. But the fights in general are really cool. First fight, we'll split it up into 2 parts. First fight is Denji, Aki, Power, and Himeno versus the Katana Devil or the Katana Man and Sawatari, that girl with the snake devil. This battle is amazing, and we've already seen just one clip from the anime, which also shows how amazing it's going to be. By the way, can't wait for that. next year, I believe, next fall of 2022, sadly. But yeah, I can't wait for it. This battle is dope because Denji is barely in it. In the very first part of it, the Katana Man, with his guns, take out nearly everybody. Not only all the special 4th Division leaders, but Denji and Makima themselves, they just get shot in the head to be left for dead. So this entire battle is really just Aki risking his life to protect Himeno. Power gets some punches in, and Himeno, even though she's about to die and she ended up risking her life for this battle, she tries to do something, which is why this is a 9 out of 10 for me, because Himeno, a girl who, if you go back to watch my old videos, please don't, but if you did, you would know I continuously could not remember her name. It took me probably 2 months to actually remember her name, and by the time I remembered it, she died, which actually hurt me, because the writing was so amazing that even though she was just a character that was just introduced to us, the fact that she was killed off so easily just left me wide. The fact that she was killed so easily left my eyes wide open, and that was something else. So this is a 9 out of 10 for me, but that's just the first half. The second half is basically the Hunter's Revenge arc. Denji and Power get trained up by Kishibe. Aki gets a new devil to fight with, and we get introduced to a whole bunch of new fiends and devils themselves. We get introduced to, just a quick lineup, we get Beam, the Shark Devil Man, Fiend, the Shark Fiend, who is a fan favorite. We see the Violence Fiend, which is a fan favorite. We meet the Spider Devil, who is, for a minute there, had a lot of sexy fan art drawn of her, which I was like, okay, I guess people like women with a lot of legs. No judgment here. And we just got to see actual, more or less hand-to-hand combat type beats from some of the characters, which was pretty cool. But all in all, it leads up to the pinnacle of the fight, Denji rematching against the Katana Man, which I didn't understand the fight at first when I first read it, but rereading it, I finally understand what the move the Katana Devil is doing. If you've ever seen any anime or old Japanese movies, and that old one strike type thing, where, like, say if you have a samurai, he has his sword, he has a sheath, and by the time he opens it and closes takes the sword out and puts the sword back in, by the time the swordsman takes the sword out and puts it back in like a flash, his enemy is cut down. That's what the Katana Man was doing, and that is just hilariously fucking awesome. That's his move. That's his power as a Katana Devil. He can slice anything in a blink of an eye. And it showed, which is amazing. But in this fight with Denji was able to think of a way around it and ends up defeating him with just doing something I didn't think was possible. He grows a chainsaw in his leg, which at the time didn't think was possible, but technically Denji can grow chainsaws anywhere. By the end of the manga, we can see that he can actually just form a chainsaw if he wanted to. So that's fucking awesome. And that leaves this part and the whole thing with a 9 out of 10. Katana versus chainsaw is a pretty decent fight, only because it moves the plot along in a way that leads us up to everything else that happens. It even leaves hints on Makima's the true villain, where the Gun Devil is, and actually the Makima twist near the end of the manga. I've been doing this for 24 fucking minutes already. This is gonna be a pain in the ass to edit. But moving on. Hopefully this isn't fucking boring for you. Moving on, we have Denji versus the Bomb Devil, or Bomb Girl arc. Denji versus Reize, I would like to say. This is a 10 out of 10 arc, 10 out of 10 fight. probably, especially when I first read it, probably the most insane fight I'd seen in a while. I believe these stories also came out near my birthday last year, or not. Yeah, that's weird. It's just weird how long it takes to write a story, because Chainsaw Man started in 2019 and went to 2020. So yeah. But nevertheless, this story arc and this fight introduces a love interest for Denji called Reize. It introduces the different countries' assassins that have devil abilities, who introduces another devil hybrid like Denji, and all in all, just is an amazing battle. Starting off, we have Reize getting close to Denji, and eventually not only admitting feelings for Denji herself, but Denji admitting feelings for her. And it just gets turned upside down with the fact that she bites off Denji's tongue and stabs him across and like cuts his throat. Reize this is actually the only character, like one of the few characters I'm going to actually talk about the character themselves, not just the fight. Reize was a Russian citizen who was brought up and trained in terrible conditions in Russia called, I don't forget what it's called, but it was like just a place where Russians just tested children to make soldiers. So much so that Reize was nickname was the or I guess codename was just guinea pig, or guinea pig in Japanese. She was the Bomb Devil hybrid, and the Bomb Devil, her use of powers opened our minds. Like it blew everyone away with the abilities you could use. Her head was like a fighter jet, like fighter helicopter or fighter jet. I forget which one. And she had dynamite as like an apron or a kimono. It was just badass. It was fucking amazing. And her move, she could explode her limbs to propulse herself to move at Mach speeds almost. She could fly by doing the same thing. And she was so badass that an actual devil, the Typhoon Devil, knew her by name. Not just like, oh, you're the Bomb Devil, but oh, you're Reize. I should be afraid of you. It was just another level of shock and awe, because we were like, whoa, if she can do that, what is Denji's full extent? And it was, of course, there was a joke in it with Beam saying, oh, Chainsaw could shoot out his blades to connect the buildings and swing around, kind of like Spider-Man. And Denji takes that and is like, okay, cool, you're a big giant shark with legs for some reason, Beam. I'm gonna take my chains, wrap them around your mouth, and use you as a horse, basically, so I can climb around on buildings. That was Denji's response, because Denji's an idiot. But at the same time, it's like it made me hope that we'll see Denji's abilities explored further on, which we do. All in all, this fight and the story arc in general was just amazing. It was sad, especially the ending. Denji refused to kill Reize. He was more or less going to either bring her in alive, or what ended up happening, let her go free. Even though he let her go free, he was so like smitten with her that he said, we could run away. You and me both, if we fought together, we'd probably be unstoppable, which in all honesty, probably would have been true. And Reize, even before she actually escapes the country, is about to takes him up on that offer and tries to go find him. But of course, Makima tracks her down and kills her before she gets the chance to back up with Denji. The only thing that sucks about this is that, sadly, just how Fujimoto's writing goes, Denji basically instantly forgets about her and goes back to simping for Makima. Which sucks, because I really do believe that if anyone would have been a good romance for Denji, it would have been Reize. Which technically, Reize's still alive out there. Wait a minute. Yo, wait. Reize is still... Unless the Chainsaw Man ate her, Ray's still out there somewhere. Fuck. That's a video right there. Ray's 2022 comes back. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. So I guess it's not as sad of an ending as I thought it was gonna be. Who knew? But moving on. So sadly, I'm not anywhere close to finishing this video as I would hope to be. But that's fine. It just means that we're going to be getting 2 videos about all the great fights in Chainsaw Man instead of just one long ass video. So make sure to leave a like on this video. Leave a comment on why you like or dislike this video. Say a word that starts with I guess. So say irregular down in the comments to know that you got to this end of this video and will hopefully be watching the next video. Stay tuned for the next special where we talk about, drum roll please, the main character himself, Denji. So yeah, that should be coming out very, very soon, actually. Sooner than this one did. So yeah, thanks guys, and catch you next time.
To